We haven't met. My name is Dr. John Rubio, and I'm the school superintendent here in Emeryville. Today really is a tremendous historic day for the city of Emeryville, and for the Emory Unified School District. This project has, as many of you know, has been in the making for about 12 years now, and it's finally coming to fruition. And we have had so many partners and so much support and so much help to make this happen. It's been a long road, and I'm happy to be here as the school superintendent to see this work complete with the city and our great partnership that we have. We have representatives at the federal level, from the state level, from the county level, who are here today. I want to particularly thank Congresswoman Barbara Lee for being here. Good morning. I want to thank you for being here. I also want to thank State Senator Lonnie Hancock for being here this morning. I know that, who's here? Oh, there you are, thank you. Assemblywoman Nancy Skinner, thank you very much for being here this morning. And I also want to thank Ruth Atkin, our City of Emeryville Vice Mayor, for being here this morning. As well as all of our council members we have present. We have several council members present. Can you guys raise your hands and say good morning, everybody? Thank you. Our school board members who are here with us, as well as our candidates for new school board membership and city council positions. So thank you all for being here very much. Appreciate it. So it is my really delight and pleasure to introduce our first speaker regarding our project and what we have happening for our children and for the city residents here. Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. It's great to be home. I tell you. And it's also great to be in Emeryville, a place where we hear good news quite a bit. A place that I think serves as a model for the entire country and how collaboratives can work together, public-private partnerships, and how truly it does take a village to raise a child and a family. And so this Community Life Center, Center for Community Life, is an effort that is long overdue. And thank you for your leadership, Senator Hancock, Vice Mayor Atkin, Assemblymember Skinner, and all of you here who have helped to make this possible. Just have to say a couple of things as a member of the Appropriations Committee. Several years ago, when this project was conceived and really started, we were able then to, and hopefully this will come back, earmark, because earmarks are good.
Yes.
Okay. Earmarks are good. Federal, using your tax dollars to direct back into my district for projects such as the Center for Community Life is what, as an appropriator, and what members of Congress should do with your tax dollars. So hopefully the politics of Washington, D.C. sooner or later will allow us to continue to do this. But the federal contribution to this, really, I'm very proud of, first of all, but I couldn't have done it had it not been for the local residents and the city and school district and all of the partners here in Emeryville, because you certainly presented an exemplary model of this village and what it takes to really make sure that our young people have the strong community supports and the extracurricular activities, the fitness programs, the self-esteem, all of those support services that are needed to really make this truly a center for community life. And so I just want to congratulate you today and just say once again that our young people here in Emeryville should be very proud of what the adults are doing, because you guys care about the future, and you all care about making sure that our children have a future, but also that the community is a safe community, is a community that provides those opportunities for children and their families to live the American dream. So I certainly intend to go back to DC and use this once again as a model. Emeryville has done some great things. John, good to see you here. Because you have an amazing presence in DC, I want you to know. And Emeryville always has some very interesting, innovative, and creative initiatives that I can always take to my colleagues and say, look, this is an example of what can be done with minimal resources. So thank you guys again very much. It's good to be home again, and congratulations on a job well done. Finally, after 12 years.
It's my pleasure to introduce State Senator Lonnie Hancock.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Hey, good morning.
It really is an amazing time. I was thinking back, I know that this has been going on for over 12 years, but I think it was about 10 years ago that Melody Dice and John Gooding and John Flores, who was the city manager then, and Ruth Atkin, came to my office and said, we've got this idea. And it was quite an extraordinary idea at the time, that you could fully integrate the community, the schools, and city government to produce a seamless center for all the people in Emeryville. And it was hard to get our heads around it because we're used to operating in silos. The schools do this, you know, the city does that, and then there's the business community. But this was a coming together of all of them. And we kept working on this idea through the state allocation board, through legislation. We have to actually make you legal because the silos weren't allowed to be connected at that time. And I think Nancy Skinner carried that piece of legislation. We all worked on it and got that passed. But what I see now is that you are ready to go. And something that, as Congresswoman Lee said, is going to be a model for the country. Because we all know we have to get there. We talk about not having a dollar to waste or an ounce of human energy that isn't put to good use. We know we have to integrate our services fully, and we have to create opportunity together. There's now a concept. It's called full service community schools. And we're working on that in the state allocation board and on the education committee that I sit on, and we will keep doing that because what you are going to be, I don't even full service community schools is not quite as wide as your vision, because this isn't just schools, it's a full service, caring, nurturing community. Our mutual friend John Lewis used to talk about the beloved.
Can you use the mic, please? Use your mic.
Yeah.
Use your microphone.
Oh, use the microphone.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Do I have to go through this all again? No. But that is what you're building here. And it's a very, very important thing. And I thank you because people see where they want to go now. You will be a model to help them get there. And I see our job in the state legislature and the Congress, to the extent that we can rally the forces, is going to be to make sure we have the services there for you to deliver in this beautiful center that you're going to have. The mental health, the libraries, the sports fields, the teams, all the things that go to make sure every child will have the opportunity for a fully realized life in this community, no matter what the economic circumstances of their family, and they will have a chance to grow up here, work here, grow old here, in dignity and with respect. Thank you so much for your vision and for making it real.
It's my pleasure now to introduce Assemblywoman Nancy Skinner.
Thank you, Superintendent Rubio, and welcome to Emeryville. Well, I'm also very, very happy to be here. And I was a rookie assembly member, which seems kind of ironic to say right now, because it wasn't that long ago, since I'm now a senior assembly member who's about to be termed out. But anyway, I was a rookie assembly member, and the school district and the city of Emeryville realized that the education code in California prevented this incredible concept. So the education code was not going to allow for a facility that had shared school property that the community members would also come to. Now, we all know, as Senator Hancock's mentioned, as our Congresswoman Lee has mentioned, that for families with kids in school, the school is the center of their life, right? It is the very focal point of their life. So it makes complete sense that we would combine lots of services and that we would extend the programs for our school kids, because most school kids, they don't get to go home right after school anymore, right? They need full day care, and we want that full day care to be as vibrant as possible, and we want their families to feel part of it. But anyway, at that point, the education code said no go. So we thought, all right, I would carry a bill that would fix this, and we thought that, well, let's just be modest and let's make it for Emeryville only. Well, we get up to then the Senate Education Committee, and the chair of that committee started scolding us that how dare we be so presumptuous or arrogant that we would try to have this concept just for this one school district. And I'm like, hey, I'd be happy to give it to the whole state. If you want to recommend that amendment, I'll take it. So she required that we allow this for each and every school district in the whole state. So that's phenomenal. Not only does Emeryville now get to do it, but as Senator Hancock said, you're creating this model. Now every school district and city in California could follow if they choose to. Now that wasn't our only bump on the road. We got AB 1080 through. We got AB 1080 through. But of course then our governor, for some good reasons, decided that redevelopment should go away. And while this project has school district funds, it has private sector funds, it also used redevelopment monies. And of course the project has been, has been in planning for many, many, many years. So the redevelopment monies were already dedicated for the project, right? But our Department of Finance, who's sometimes a little bit, what should we say, stubborn, they basically wanted to capture all the money they possibly could, and they said, no, Emeryville doesn't get to use their redevelopment money, we're taking it back. And we're like, wait a minute, this thing has been, it's already a contract that exists, you can't take it back. So thankfully, I have a very formidable chief of staff who doesn't mind staring down anybody. And she took on the Department of Finance, and we got the 21 million, I think it is, the 21 million restored back that the Department of Finance was trying to take away. So I'm very, very pleased that my office and I, and of course the rest of the legislature, were able to roll up our sleeves and do that work on behalf of Emeryville, and I'm so glad to be part of this groundbreaking. And I just look forward to being able to come to the various programs and celebrations that this center will host in the future, and thanks so much.
Before I introduce the next two speakers, I just want to also recognize that we have representatives here from Senator Dianne Feinstein's office. I want to say thank you for being here from Dianne Feinstein's office, and also from Keith Carson's office from the County Board of Supervisors. We appreciate that as well. And we have one of our second grade students here who's going to be a benefactor of this school here. Thanks for being here, young man. So our next speaker is our Emory Unified School District School Board President, Ms. Melody Dice.
Well, good morning. I must start with 25 years ago when I was a student here on this very site, and the local created earthquake was close. I lost a grandfather right after that.
Microphone.
I'll adjust because I am a little tall. All right, I will hold on to my memory there. All right, so 25 years ago, the Loma Prieta earthquake occurred. A few days later, my grandfather passed away. But to get back to reality and normal living, students went back to school, right? And so going back to school, it was storming. I remember it was a really strong rainstorm that we had. And inside the classroom, it was raining inside the classroom. I remember that, right? Over there. And so I recall that. It just came to me last night. And so what I do know about this project is that it's about ensuring that students, when we go through things, no one knew my grandfather passed away. No one had a clue that I was going through my story, nor did I know what other people were facing at that time. The students wanted to have a safe place and not the school. And so the vision that this community has developed over many years and have fought for so long, and we're now realizing, is that very thing that I experienced, is to ensure that all of our students have a safe haven, a safe place, to ensure that no obstacles, we make things as normal as possible so that they can succeed and achieve every possible dream they have envisioned for themselves. So I stand here as not only a resident, a board president, but also a student and a product of this community. So I am incredibly excited about the collaborations that have taken place, the number of members that are present here, from Congresswoman Barbalese, State Senator Ryan Hancock, Assemblywoman Skinner, and other members present. But I think it is powerful what people do together, collectively, for the right reasons, and putting our students in front, or our kids, our most vulnerable, in front of whatever adult issues we have. But we found that it's important to put those aside and make sure that we create the best possible outcomes for our kids. I was a benefactor of that, and I absolutely am committed to ensuring that we continue to do that in this district. So with that, I really want to appreciate everyone who's been part of this vision and this dream, and I'm absolutely looking forward to the grand opening. I'm sure we'll have a week of different activities, but it has been really one of the most centering moments to actually come back here on rocks. But to also recall that 25 years ago, this building was a safe haven for me as a student, and I think for every child, we want that for a young building as well. So thank you all for being here. Thank you.
And our final speaker, our Vice Mayor of Emeryville, Ruth Atkin.
So after Melody, I have to lower the mic. So this campus is an embodiment of the power of relationships. This is far more than just a building that took a lot of dedication over time, but this project really talks about what all the public jurisdictions at the local level in particular can do to work together to achieve something that can support every Emeryville person throughout the lifespan. And this was one of my personal visions for this project. And it does take a village to support everybody, no matter where they are throughout the lifespan. And there's going to be programs that are enabled because this project is built. So I just want to say that this is a tangible testament of that intangible when the sum is greater than the parts, however that saying goes, because what will be enabled through this project far exceeds what actually is represented by the buildings. So I am so honored to serve the city of Emeryville because I've never heard of another community that has the depth of connection and cooperation between its public jurisdictions as the city of Emeryville has with the school district. And this was made possible through a lot of dedication, perseverance, sometimes true grit. I want to thank our state legislators for fighting to make this happen. Assemblymember Skinner already talked about the two pieces that had to be fought at the state level, the legislation that enabled this, and then trying to keep our money local. So thank you for that successful fight. And also never losing sight of the ultimate prize about what we're about today. So we kept our eyes on the prize, and the fact that these buildings that were so woefully inadequate were taken down, and that what's going to come up in its place can enable so much more to happen is truly remarkable. He's not here today. There's so many people who need to be thanked for this, but I really want to thank Roy Miller because he held the reins for this project. Roy, for those who you don't know, Roy, thank you, Dylan. Roy was the school district's architect who went through the process of selecting the architectural team, selecting the construction team, all of which was publicly vetted. There was so much public engagement that went on to really craft this community center at every stage, and it wasn't always easy. So I want to particularly thank the City Council and the school board for unity of vision and purpose that has served us through many election cycles, and as well as for the staff who pored over the documents in minute detail and came up with a memorandum of understanding and a joint use agreement that I think will serve the community for many generations to come. And it's particularly pleasing to me. I think it was the Iroquois Nation who said that you needed to make decisions based on what the impact would be 7 generations out. And I'm not sure if we're going to reach 7 generations with this project, but we're going to come darn close. And so it's really wonderful to not just think in the short term, but to think for the generations that will be served by this community and this facility. So thank you all for coming today and celebrating. This is a great moment in the history of Emeryville, and dare I say it, the East Bay in general.
And one alteration to one of our speakers, County Superintendent Sheila Jordan was hung up, but we are very happy to have Alameda County Assistant Superintendent Karen Monroe. Karen, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm representing Sheila Jordan, who has been involved in this project, or seeing this project come to fruition from the very beginning. So, because this project represents building into or really elevating the needs of the community, that's something that we've been focused on at Alameda County Office of Ed, the nexus between community and education. Schools, as we all know, serve as hubs for community health and for activism, and a place for families and students to connect. So we see this center as building into that in the deepest way. One of the things that we serve at the Alameda County Office of Ed, we stand in the gap for the least served students, and what we've seen over the years is Emeryville really be positioned well to serve the least served in their community. And I'm glad to see a place where not only the least served, but all students, all families can come and get services and become deeply linked and connected to the work that's going on in the school district and in the city. So it's my pleasure to represent Sheila, who's very sorry that she couldn't be here. Her mother is ill. But this is something that's been close to her heart, and as a result, close to the work that we do. It's been on our minds and on our hands at Alameda County Office of Ed. We're really looking forward to partnering with this center and this project going forward to ensure that it's a success and to support in any way we possibly can. Thanks for having us here today.
So at this time in the program, I would like to ask Congresswoman Barbara Lee, Senator Hancock, and Assemblywoman Skinner, President Dice, and Vice Mayor Ruth Atkin, please take a shovel and help us raise the ground.
Hey, how are you?
Are we having fun?
Could you guys move to the left just to shade there so I can squeeze in?
Yeah.
All right, kid.
Good.
You're a natural, Nancy. You're a natural.
Okay.
They have to do like a 1, 2, 3 square. Who's good? You do it, Miguel.
What? That's good. Okay. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3. Am I getting it?
All right, ready? Count us out. All right.
1, 2, 3. Do it!
Come on over. Let's get 1 or 2 photos. Come on over here.
I got some.
Yeah, just very go ahead. Do 1, 2 quick pictures.
1, 2. Oh, get in there, Miguel.
Let's have all the electeds.
All electeds come up.
Come on.
Well, I can't count them.
There we go.
There, John. Here, you want a jacket? I have a jacket. I'm okay. I have a jacket. There we go. Just in case. So you're more visible. There's your hat. Oh, thanks, babe. There we go.
Well, I don't give a shit.
Push to it.
It's clean dirt. It's clean dirt.
Clean dirt.
All right, we done? Dylan, do one more for Charlie.
I do. I'm wondering.